Hello and welcome to Roboquest and its Endless Mode update. So what is Endless Mode in this game? Well, you're going to be facing an increased enemy density in each of the levels, and you're also going to be getting a vastly increased challenge every single time you end a level, because you're going to be getting a glitch or a singularity introduced to you, which is going to add some form of additional mechanic or challenge to the enemies that you're facing. Now, if you're wondering what Roboquest is generally, there is a campaign mode that you can play on a variety of difficulties. You have Discovery, Easy, Standard, Hard, and then you can unlock additional difficulties like Guardian 1, 2, 3, and indeed 4. Guardian 4 is very, very hard, and I'm actually going to play on standard right now, mostly because I just want to show you the endless mode, and I don't really want to take you through something that is going to kill me within the first 5 stages. I have managed to get to stage 5 on Guardian 4, but that is very, very much RNG dependent, and whether I'm actually, playing relatively well. Apart from that, you also have a number of classes. You have 7 classes available. You have the Guardian, you have the Commando, Ranger, Recon, Engineer, Elementalist, and Superbot. And each of them have, as you might expect, different skills, different perks, different builds, different weapons that they're actually good with, and each one of them is very unique in the way that they play. I'm going to be playing as the Engineer today because I actually really like and enjoy summoning classes in games like this. I usually always play a summoning class when it comes to MMORPGs. Then, yeah, that's what I generally like. So anyway, let's actually choose something here. So I'm going to increase my fire rate, I guess. Let me get a randomized weapon, so I'm going to be picking something. I guess I will pick... I don't think it actually matters, to be honest. I don't think it actually matters. This doesn't really make too much of a difference. I have disabled the sunglasses collectible. Basically, you see those icons in the bottom right. If you don't know anything about Roboquest, the icons at the bottom right are basically little pickups and permanent upgrades that you can get and add to your character that will help you in some way or another. So it's going to increase the ability for you to jump higher or hover in the air, because I actually have a jetpack, as you can see right here. I can use a jetpack. There's also a grappling hook, as you can see right there too. And there's also the ability to do this. Boom! Yeah, so you could do like a power slamming jump thing onto enemies' heads. And that's basically what you can do. And yeah, there's all manners of reasons why you would want to use those, and you can disable and enable those at will if you want. Now, I'd recommend disabling the sunglasses if you are having issues surviving, which is what I did, because I'm actually not very good at this game. Believe it or not, I am someone that only played this for a couple of hours, so I really have not much idea how to play it. But I am having a lot of fun. That's the funny thing. This soundtrack is fantastic. The game mechanics are amazing. The aesthetic is really cool. I like the way that the shooting mechanics are handled, and all of the abilities, like I said, are extremely unique in regards to the various classes you're going to get to play as. So I very much appreciate that, and getting stunned is obviously not exactly great, but that's fine. That's my own fault. Let's try and do some damage here. Try not to run into anything. Try not to get killed by this. I'm going to just slam on that guy, even though that didn't actually hit him before he managed to die from my drones. Bear in mind that the Engineer's ability is to summon some drones that will, in fact, kill enemies relatively quickly. And I'm going to be going for a summon-based build in this run. I'm not going to try to go super high in terms of stages with this. On standard difficulty, I have actually been able to go very high in the endless mode in terms of stages. As I said, in comparison, the Guardian 4, very difficult. It increases basically HP, damage, aggressiveness, basically everything that is pretty hard to deal with, and the additional affixes and attributes associated with the endless mode, the singularities and the glitches and so on and so forth, they're actually really, really troublesome. Anyway, let's see what else I can get here. So this is basically what determine your build for the foreseeable run. I'm going to go for Scrap Snacks here. Scrap Snacks basically makes it so that when you use your ability that is on a 15 to 16 second cooldown, you're going to be able to increase your summon's fire rate by 70% for 6 seconds, which you may think, oh, that's not really that much, right? No, it is actually quite a lot. And you can indeed use your blaster, which is your alternate fire thing. You can use that to get some additional scrap. And scrap is basically used as a way to reduce the cooldown of your active ability, which is usually on a 16-second cooldown, like I said. And if you can reduce the cooldown of that by generating more scrap, by using the blaster more often, then you're going to have an even better time, and it's actually kind of insane. So, in other words, if you use the blaster and it drops an additional 3 scrap, because that's what it does, then you're going to be reducing the cooldown of your active ability by 3 seconds. So you guessed it, yeah, it's actually kind of cool. And yeah, there are a number of other abilities that you can indeed empower, and you can imbue your drones with pretty cool things like elemental damage, pyro damage, cryo damage, and shock damage, and each of them are, of course, having different effects. Like cryo damage reduces the attack speed, as far as I'm aware, of enemies, and shock damage stuns enemies, and burn damage, as you might expect, burns enemies over time. And it's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool. They actually do a really, really good job of making each of these elemental effects seem nice and unique, and like they actually do have an impact on your overall success, which is pretty cool. Let's kill this thing if I can. There we go. I think I killed it. Nice. That does provide you with a small experience bonus, as far as I'm aware. Killing that one enemy on the track there, I think, gives you more XP than normal. And as you can see, we have Pack Leader here. So this is another upgrade that has a synergy with Scrap Snacks. So as you can see, it's incentivizing you to use Scrap Snacks as much as possible. So if you were to use this as much as you can, it also increases your own fire rate by 25%. And I'm going to do that. So every time I use Scrap Snacks, I'm now also going to be getting an increased fire rate. And you are also ranked in terms of how long you take and how many enemies you kill on each and every level. So you can see here we are now gaining a glitch. So this is what I told you about before. You gain affixes and various traits called glitches and singularities whenever you finish a stage, and the one that I'm getting here decreases the chance to drop power cells on takedowns. So there's that. But as you progress, things are going to get crazy. Things are going to get really, really crazy. Once you get to stage 25 and above, as far as I'm aware, it is stage 25 and above. I could be wrong about that. I've only gotten to stage 25, I think, twice. And, you know, it takes maybe not that long to get there. It very much depends on which difficulty you're playing on, of course. But, you know, in general, it does take quite some time. So anyway, all I'm saying is, once you get there, it's then going to start scaling enemies' damage up in a flat percentage. So every single time you finish a stage from that point onward, it's no longer going to give you individual glitches and singularities, and instead it's going to give you, or it's going to give enemies 10% increased damage, and it's just going to scale up and up and up and up, all the way infinitely until you eventually die. I would assume, at least. So anyway, I am... I'm going to take this, I guess. Let's see. Increase weapon damage. Yeah, I'll take that. Why not? Why not? Why not? That sounds pretty good. Energy cells are basically your currency in the run, and wrenches are your currency outside of the run. I have 549 wrenches, as you might expect. And yeah, you can purchase traits and perks that you can use within the run here, and you can also upgrade your weapon, so you can re-roll the affixes of your weapon here. It's kind of a little bit like Borderlands in that respect. And you can also upgrade your weapon, whatever it is, into a higher quality, And once you upgrade it into a higher quality, you can add additional things to it. It will gain additional affixes, and you can, increase its power. For me personally, I don't really see the point in getting any of this, so I'm just going to continue onward. Oh, this is actually a pretty cool weapon. Oh, I like this. Oh yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, no, I like this. Okay, let's be a bit careful. Let's try not to get myself killed too dramatically, shall I? Yes, not too dramatically, thank you. Yes, he says as he gets absolutely shot in the face. Now this is a room that's quite special. This room basically will give you waves of enemies, and they will continue to spawn until the bar at the top is empty. And that's pretty much how that works. So yeah, just try to kill as fast as you possibly can, and that's pretty much it. That's what you got to do here. So the faster you can kill, the better. And once you've killed everything, you will then be able to exit and then move on to the next room. And there are bosses as well, by the way. There are bosses. So if you thought, oh no, there's no bosses in this game, pass. No. There are bosses in this game. And don't worry, they are pretty harsh. And I gotta say, I actually feel like they have, and I'm talking about the developers here, the developers have done a great job in making the bosses feel really, really epic, and like you really do need to use a rather significant amount of strategy and tactics to be able to defeat them, because they feel like raid bosses. They feel like raid bosses. If you have ever played a game like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV or any of these MMORPGs with large raid bosses that have certain mechanics, then you're going to feel right at home. You're going to feel right at home here, because it's pretty similar to that degree. There's a lot of mechanics that each boss has, and oh yeah, by the way, you're going to be facing 2 bosses at the same time. So not just one boss, you're going to be fighting 2 bosses at the same time. In the campaign, you're facing a single boss, and in Endless, you're facing 2 bosses. So just bear that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to take Chromatic Buddies here. This is, in my opinion, really, really good, because it means that my summons will now deal burn damage, and it will increase our burn damage by 10%, which is really, really nice. I'm obviously not using burn damage at the moment, but I will be, or I will be attempting to do so. And most enemies are in fact going to be using projectile-based weapons, so that's something also to think about, because that means that it's very skill-based. Every single time you go into a room, it is basically your own fault if you get hit. Some of the time, obviously, you just can't help getting hit, but most of the time, it is going to be your own fault if you end up dying. And I should know, because I literally have died so many times from my own stupidity. And don't even get me started, as I say, on Guardian 4 mode. Guardian 4 mode, as I said, it's very hard. I might actually show you at the tail end of the video just how difficult Guardian 4 is in comparison to this. Because this is obviously standard difficulty, and this is not too difficult, because I can pretty much just kind of stand here behind this pillar, and you may think, oh yeah, that's pretty easy, right? Well, yeah, it is actually pretty easy, but the aggressiveness of enemies when they are on Guardian 4 difficulty is actually really a massive, massive difference. It's actually kind of surprising how much of a difference it really makes. I was very surprised, actually, that it was such a big, big difference. Let's just try and do a little bit of a slam here. I'm actually not playing particularly well on this difficulty either, to be honest, but there you go. As I say, I barely got past stage 5 on Guardian 4, and then I died. And yeah, that's hard enough as it is, so pretty funny. Yeah, pretty funny. So let's just kill that. I'm gonna just switch to my carbine now, because I'm gonna make sure that I just snipe a couple of people here, and I should really go and pick up all that health, but unfortunately the health pickups, they do tend to disappear quite fast on, well, pretty much every difficulty, but on Guardian 4 they actually disappear even faster. Yes. So we're going to have some potential issues with that as well. But yeah, as I said, Do bear in mind that I am a very new player to this game. I actually have not played this game ever before, you know, basically making a video for the endless mode here. Because I thought, hey, that sounds like fun, you know? It sounds like fun to actually have a mode like this. It kind of reminds me of other modes in like, as I say, in like MMORPGs and things like that, that, you know, it gets harder and harder and harder as time goes on. And I personally really enjoy those kinds of things. Anyway, let's see. I'm actually just I'm gonna buy one of these, I guess. I'm gonna buy the Gorilla Bolter. Sounds pretty fun. And we're going to heal ourselves because we can. And there we go. We're back up to full. And now we get to fight 2 bosses. So let's fight 2 bosses. The Boogie Bouncers. Yeah, this is a pretty fun one, I think. So, I am basically just going to target the main guy in the center here. And we're just going to try to avoid the things on the floor. As you can see, this is very much raid mechanics. Try to avoid the bazooka, you know, weapons coming at us as well. Try to jump when the big laser beam comes in, when it comes around and everything. And yeah, well, I have a bad feeling about this, actually. Relatively bad feeling. Hello there. Okay, yeah, we might have some issues with this, actually. I haven't been particularly, unfortunately, I haven't been particularly lucky with the. Oh dear. Am I gonna die? Ooh, we might live. I lived. Okay. Whew. That was close. Okay, yeah, that was close even on standard. Whew. Yeah. So that just goes to show, right? That just goes to show. Okay, so there you go. Now we have a singularity which adds Goliath Digglers and Burrow Pods to each level and also increases their damage. So that's really, really harsh too. And imagine, look at this. This is just stage 2. And I'm already kind of having some problems, right? I'm already kind of having some issues. So let's go for Pyro Revenge, I guess. And yeah, as I say, there are many different classes that you can play as well. So if you are someone that doesn't really like playing with like summons or anything like that, then you don't obviously have to. You can play with pretty much anything you like. And I'd highly recommend doing that. I would. What is this? Oh, these are cool. This is a fantastic weapon. Okay, that sounds pretty fun. What's this? Increased weapon damage and reloading rerolls your current weapon affixes. Taking damage has a 10% chance to trigger rocket jump. Okay, I don't really mind about any of that. And we did heal ourselves. And do I want to take anything else here? Yeah, I don't know. Taking down an enemy has a 4% chance to drop 6 additional things. I don't really care about that too much, but yeah. Anyway, we can now continue onward, and we can do some more things. Oh yeah, I'm actually stunned, apparently, here. So let's just get out of there if we can. There we go. Pull myself with the... yeah, but as you can see, it actually... just murders. Like every single time we go in here and I actually do massive damage with my drones, it's basically just game over for them. It's just complete and utter devastation, and you can see that. And the funny thing is, you can, if you are playing something, you know, like recon or maybe a ranger, maybe a guardian, you know, a little bit more close combat stuff, you can probably just run in there really aggressively and do absolutely fine, even on Guardian 4. But that's obviously me talking, and I have very limited experience, like I said. So do not take what I say as gospel or anything like that. I am very much new to this, so, you know. But there are many more people, if you're interested in the, you know, if you're interested in the game, that is, that have made some very big strides in this game. And they are very good at this. And I would highly recommend checking them out. But yes, anyway, let's see. What are we going to do? Oh, increase my summon damage. Why not? Yeah, there we go. Basically, there is a weapon. There is a weapon in the game. I can't remember what it's called now, but there's a weapon that allows you to summon basically a mobile weapons platform. And the mobile weapons platform counts as one of your summons. So as an engineer, this basically buffs your damage insanely, because you're going to summon this thing and then it's going to benefit from all of your summons, and then you can also use the weapon as an actual weapon. So it's not just a mobile weapons platform or whatever, it is actually a real weapon that you can use to shoot at enemies themselves. So yeah, that kind of thing really makes a huge difference to your overall viability, and that's the reason why I was saying, yeah, it does have a sort of semblance of RNG. You do have to, you know, think a little bit, hey, okay, yeah, I got a little bit unlucky there with my options and so on and so forth, and that's maybe sometimes the reason why you might not have the best run. But that's the way of things in roguelikes, because this is indeed a roguelite, so you know, there are going to be some random elements, but it's very fun. Don't get me wrong, it's very, very fun. They've got grind rails as well. I don't know whether you've noticed that, but they've got grind rails, and grind rails just remind me so heavily of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I'm one of those people that used to play that a huge amount on PlayStation, and you know, just absolutely having a whale of a time with that. And look at this, boom, grind rail, boom, there's another grind rail, yeah, and then you can literally just grind on this thing, and you can just continue doing that, and you can probably avoid most damage just by going back and forth like so, and it's so fun, it really is. Okay, there we go, we can just pick up some of these. What's this? Buffalo cannon. Should I take that? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, got a big buffalo cannon now, and we also have this other thing over here, and now you see this purple area? This purple area is an optional area that you don't necessarily have to clear if you don't want to, but it's recommended if you want to get all the experience, of course, because it does give you more experience and everything. And I'm just going to switch back to the other weapon. The buffalo cannon doesn't seem to really be doing the business for me right here, but yeah, anyway, this is kind of recommended because you get to go over to this little chest thing, and oh, the junk beam. Yeah, junk beam is actually not a bad weapon. I feel like it's pretty cool. There's cryo damage there. Yeah, so the junk beam, I'm going to replace that with this, and then we'll just go out there. But yeah, so the purple area is kind of an optional area, but I'd recommend doing it anyway, because it does give you that chest, and then you're able to kind of unlock some additional things, and that's kind of fun, right? I think that's kind of fun, at least. And the junk beam is pretty cool because you can use it from really, really far distances, and you can actually do some massive damage with it too. And you can kind of stay at range, and that's kind of what you want to do as the engineer anyway. You don't really want to be getting up close and personal, because most of the time if you do, you're probably going to be taking some pretty heavy damage, unless you're, you know, a recon or something like that. A little bit one of the easier classes to play. It does have a lower skill ceiling in general, from what I've seen at least. It does seem to have a lower skill ceiling. Okay, oh, what do we have here? Chromatic weapon. I feel like chromatic weapon sounds pretty cool. Because what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually turn our weapon into a burn weapon, you see? So this is the reason why I wanted to have my summons deal burn damage. Now I'm gonna be dealing burn damage, and I'm also going to be applying burn to enemies. So you can see here immediately my weapon changes into a burn weapon. So the more perks and items I can get that will provide me with burn increases, the more I'm going to be able to deal massive damage. And that's the entire point. That is literally the entire point of this build. It is literally all about just gaining as much pyro damage as you can. And I think it does a really, really good job, actually, and it's super fun. As I say, for someone that is a little bit more inclined to play pet-based builds and summons and so on and so forth, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And there you go, we got a new glitch, and this is the Priceplosion glitch, which increases the cost of weapons and items by 2 power cells, which is actually kind of bad. That's really, really harsh, actually, but there you go. And now we get to move on, and we get to kind of go into a safe room environment. And then we can restore our HP, of course. We can open Max's chest, which is one of the friendly NPCs. And then you can loot another weapon. Increase burn damage by 10%. I'll take that. Increase weapon damage by 30%. Increase critical damage by 40%, but decrease damage by 20%. No, I'm going to take the hourglass, I think. Increase weapon damage by 30%. Sounds pretty good to me. And what else do we have here? The comet cannon, the bull shotgun. No, none of these. At least not for me right now. We can get one of these. Let's have a look. Increase head bonk damage. Ah, this is pretty good. Increase summons health by 15%. Unfortunately for me, I don't even have enough energy cells to be able to get that. I mean, I could roll at the gambling place for a couple of wrenches, and then I might be able to get some energy cells from this guy. As you can see, he did just give me one, so I can now afford it if I want to, so why not? Let's just do it, just for the sake of showing you that you can win stuff from the gambling guy if you're lucky. And let's go in. So now we can do some damage with this, and this is going to be even more damaging than it was before. And we're just going to be able to absolutely destroy entire rooms. And that's kind of the addictive, shall we say, the addictive nature of the game as well. And that's the reason why I say, you know, something like a recon or a ranger to a certain degree as well. Both of those classes have really, really low skill ceilings, and they are capable of doing some amazing things. They can really do some amazing things. You know, with the recon especially, you can literally hit with the dagger, and then it gives you massive damage bonus, and then you just attack with some kind of weapon, most likely something that just has like a fast fire rate or whatever, so like an auto shotgun or something like that. And then you're just going to absolutely murder everything in sight. And you don't really need too much, shall we say, mechanical skill for it. It's more a case of just keeping an eye on the prize, as it were. It's kind of a similar thing to the engineer, however, you do have to manage your summons kind of nicely if you don't get lucky with the weapon selection. Because the weapon selection, very specifically, the weapon selection, as I said to you before, you kind of need that summon weapon, you know that summon weapon, right? I am actually just taking random damage here because I'm not really trying to dodge or anything like that right now. Because I don't really mind dying at this point, because I'm kind of thinking, hey, you know what? I've shown you kind of what the game's about. Obviously, there are more bosses to fight. There are different kinds of bosses that you can deal with. Pyro Sparks is actually a pretty cool ability, so I'm actually going to be taking that, even though it's maybe not the best. But it's kind of fun, in my opinion, and I'm all about fun, so why not, right? I think that's kind of cool. And yeah, so I'm basically I'm playing relatively recklessly right now because, as I say, I'm not really minding too much about death here, because then I'll just show you some levels in Guardian 4. And as I say, Guardian 4 is pretty hard for me because I've only played this game for a few hours, and I think you're probably going to have to practice quite a lot more to be good at that, because to unlock the endless mode, you will have to complete the game through the campaign. So you can complete the game, or you can I think you have to unlock Guardian 1 or something like that. I think unlocking Guardian 1 is probably the that's probably the thing that you're gonna have to do. I think so, at least. I could be wrong about that. As I say, I do not know that much about it, but I gotta say, I feel like the endless mode is a lot of fun. It is really, really enjoyable to play. And there you go, there we are. Okay, so we're dead, that's fine, I don't really mind about that. And we're gonna go to the base camp, and I'm just gonna show you a different class so you can get an idea as to what the different classes are like. And I don't even know what to really play differently. The Superbot is actually quite funny because it eats weapons. It actually doesn't use individual weapons, it eats weapons. As you can see, you can't equip weapons, but can eat them instead. Eating a weapon restores 15% health and increases your Super Blaster level by 1 if it is of a lower level than the eaten weapon. Pretty cool. If it is not, it grants you 1 power cell. Eating a fantastic weapon gives you an upgrade choice as well. So basically, the Superbot is pretty much kind of like a challenge character as far as I'm aware. I think the community thinks it's a challenge character. As you can see, Recon, the reason why I think that it's probably the easiest class is because it has a blink, and the melee attack is very, very strong, and it does drop additional healing cells, so you're gonna be healing a huge amount. And the Ranger has stealth, which is really, really good, and it also summons a decoy lasting 5 seconds. So you can actually spec the Ranger into kind of like a pseudo-engineer, which is really, really enjoyable in my opinion. The Commando is almost like, if you ever played a game like World of Warcraft or something like that, or a similar game that actually has a warrior archetype or a berserker archetype, this is kind of what the Commando does, because it generates fury points, and the fury points make it more effective, so it gains fire rate, reload speed, and so on and so forth. And then obviously you have the Guardian, which has kind of like an invulnerability that it lasts for 3 seconds, and then it regenerates over 16 seconds. So I think I'll just play as the super bot, even though I'm probably not going to be doing very well with this. And as you can see, it's very short. It is very, very small. And we're just going to play on Guardian 4. I haven't even completed Guardian 4 ever in the campaign, because it is just very difficult for me. I'm not very good at this game, like I've said. So let's go on in. I only have 140 HP because I am playing the super bot. And I can't eat any of these. Funnily enough, these are all like weapons that you get as like perks and things like that you can use with other characters. And you can see here, that would upset my stomach. I won't eat my buddy, and this is surely a fake, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're just going to eat something. I'll just eat the Bandito gun or something like that. And let's have a look. Eating a weapon restores 50% more health, reduces overdrive cooldown, increase critical damage, increase armor by 4%. I have no idea. Let's re-roll that actually. Let's go for fire rate increase. I kind of like fire rate increase, I guess. And let's use a couple of wrenches just to give us a slightly better chance. Oh wow, okay, that was a hugely wasted roll right there. 2 power cells, that really does not help me at all. I'll try one more time. Rubber tape increases alt fire damage and recruit. Okay, yeah, so that's the blaster, and this is my normal attack. And then you can overcharge your ability as well. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm probably going to die instantaneously. So as you can see, enemies are going to be highly aggressive. They're going to be highly, highly aggressive here. And I wouldn't be surprised if I actually end up dying. Yeah, as you can quite clearly tell. You see? Yeah, I'm basically dead. I'm basically dead. Oh my, okay, yeah, yeah, you see exactly what I'm talking about? Completely different experience. Just because Guardian 4, as you see right here, it gives 40% additional enemy damage. Obviously, I am playing as the character that has less HP, so should I play as Recon instead? You know, show you how easy it is in comparison? Because it's got 240 HP, a lot easier to work with right there. And as I say, every single class does require skill, but I'm just letting you know. Let's increase our dagger damage, I guess. I guess that's kind of cool. And let's see here, what else do we have? Grandma's shotgun. I have no idea what to really use, to be honest. I'm not very good with any of these classes, so let's just try and see what happens here. So yeah, so basically you could just go here like so, and you could just try, if at all possible, just to murder everything with your dagger, and you could just try to heal stuff. You could just try to heal through things with your dagger. So trying to stun things with blink as well is really, really simple. And boom, 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 there you go, and that's it. So that's kind of what I was talking about beforehand. You could just kill things really, really nice and easily, and you can blink to stun enemies too, which I very much like. And once you've done that, you can also get like a perk, as far as I'm aware. I think there is a perk available that actually increases your like attack speed and stuff like that. And obviously you've got to bear in mind that there are a number of other things that you can do. Like, for example, you could just be slightly better at the game than I am. Like, not getting stunned would probably help quite a bit, wouldn't it? Stuff like that. And yeah, I'm not really trying right now, unfortunately, because I am just talking. But You get my point, you know? You get my point. There's a lot of really fun builds in this game, and I gotta say, I recommend playing this, even if it is just for the campaign mode. And just try to unlock, you know? Just try to unlock the endless mode, because it's a huge amount of fun. It really is. It's a huge amount of fun. And let's try to eliminate the turret there. Try to eliminate this turret. There we go. There we go. We got a nice little level up. Using Blink summons a decoy that shoots enemies. I mean, we could obviously do that if we wanted to. What's this? Gathering a healing cell generates 1 robo fuel point. Each point increases damage. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do the robo fuel thing. I have no idea whether that's any good. I have no clue. I'm not really very well versed in what's good and what's not. Especially for recon. Yeah, well, it's fun enough though. That's the whole point. It's fun enough to literally just try some random stuff, and you know, you're actually going to be having a great time, you know? You're going to be having an absolutely fantastic time. But you could see how much easier this was in comparison to the Superbot and my Superbot run, because my Superbot literally just died in the first room, and the recon, as you can see, even though I'm talking and I'm relatively distracted, I was able to make it a little bit further. But as you know, I cannot play this. I literally cannot. I got to stage 5 one time, and it was very hard. Don't get me wrong. It was really difficult for me to do that. But that is it. That is going to be it for Roboquest. And if you would like to take a look at the game, there is a link in the description. The Endless Mode is out now, and this is a wonderful game. It really is. They have put in so much effort. Look at all of the collectibles and everything that you can get here. You can get your gadgets. This is what I said here, as you see, about the sunglasses. Deactivate these if you want to, you know, get some additional health in exchange for damage, and you know, vice versa. And huge amounts of classes to unlock. So much stuff to do. It's great. It's a really fun game. And if you're someone that really likes creating super powerful builds, then look no further, because this is really what you want to take a look at. And there's a reason why it's got such great reviews on Steam too. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.